love that. I mean, Dirty Den was definitely the character for me when I was a kid. Now, Alex Osborn actually hosts the EastEnders fan podcast, Wolford Weekly. Morning, Alex.
Morning, Adam. Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for talking about this. So, I've got to ask you, what are the top 3 Duffs, in your opinion, of all time?
I mean, you've already said one of them, which is the Zoe and Cat Duff. I absolutely love that Duff. I think also the live episode, which they did on the 25th, when Bradley jumped off the Vic and told Stacey to run when you found out that Stacey had murdered Archie. That's one of my favourites too.
You've ruined it for me now. So, of course, they've got all these special anniversary programmes. What are you kind of expecting from those?
I mean, the last couple of anniversaries, they've been having live episodes. They did a full live episode, as I said, for the 25th. The 30th, they put a whole week of sections which were live. So a lot of people are expecting live episodes this time round, but I'm quite pleased that they've decided to do the more movie route, and they've taken it off the square, which is a bit surprising, but putting it onto the iconic Thames instead, because obviously the Thames, we see that as well as the theme tune as they zoom out, showing the credits at the beginning of the episode.
Thing was doing that, though, and it's hard work on their front, because taking it out of the square, what would normally take 10 days to film, takes 6 weeks.
Wow.
Because they're not in the square. So, I mean, it's a lot of planning to do something like that. But I guess for an anniversary, it's worth it. Why do you think EastEnders is still so popular, though? Because there's so many other things people could be watching at that time.
Yeah, you're right. There's we're in a generation where a lot of people like to stream stuff. And I think the BBC have been quite savvy by popping episodes on iPlayer quite immediately. It gets a really good rating share on iPlayer. But also live, if you watch it live, especially these past couple of days when it's been shown for the anniversary week, the Twitter has just been going mad. I mean, we have a Twitter page where people get in touch with us, and the correspondence have just been great. And I think it's just that everyone enjoys a bit of whimsy and a bit of fun stories and over the top. And sometimes you just need that in a world where sometimes when things are a bit too serious, you just want to delve into a bit of madness.
I love the fact that to celebrate this anniversary, they've changed the end scene. You know, when the music plays with the credits. It's at night time now. It's not all blue and sort of daylight. It's all night time with the lights on. I thought it was a really good touch, actually.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect because it's obviously the setting is in the evening as well. And they've only ever done it once before, and that was actually on the 30th anniversary week too. So it's a nice special occasion to do it again.
Absolutely. Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming on to talk about this. What's the name of your podcast if anyone's an EastEnders fan and they want to have a little listen?
Yeah, no, you can find us at Wolford Weekly Podcast, and we're on all the socials, and also we have a website, wolfordweekly.com.
Lovely. Well, thanks for joining us, Alex. We're after your Duff moment, so if you've got one.
And because it's EastEnders, obviously someone's going to die, aren't they? It's not going to be any happy birthdays this week. It's going to be tragedy.
Not known for its laughs. Well, EastEnders fan Alex Osborn is co-founder and co-presenter of the Wolford Weekly podcast and joins us this morning. Morning, Alex.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
It's an absolute pleasure. So what is it that you love about EastEnders?
Well, I think you've just summed it up nicely in that package. It's like so much nostalgia, so many memories. It's just a warm hug every evening that you can get invested in and enjoy with a kind of tongue-in-cheek view that you know that it's just a bit of whimsy fun. I mean, as soon as you hear that theme tune, you're just ready to go.
A warm hug by a psychopath. I mean, it's not really known for its laughs, is it, EastEnders?
No, it's not. But then, I mean, you take it for what it is, the value of the drama that is you're watching. And it's in a world where everything is like very big budget and extreme, you like to watch something that's a bit silly and over the top. And, it's fun, isn't it? It's all a bit of fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. And what do you make of this week of special episodes for the anniversary?
I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's nice that they have left the square. It's surprising that they've not decided to do something a bit iconic in the square, but I suppose if they're on the River Thames, the intro sequence always starts on the River Thames, so it's just as iconic for the soap. And the story has been building up to this for a few months now, so it's exciting to get an ending to it. And as you say, someone will die, and there's no way of knowing who it's going to be. It keeps chopping and changing from one to the next. It's just great to watch.
Well, it's going mad on social media. So who's your money on? Who do you think they're going to kill off?
Oh, okay. I mean, as you say, it's on social media. Everyone's been talking about it. I mean, there's a debate. There's Linda, perhaps, or even Tina. They're both wearing very similar clothing, so it could be one or the other. Maybe that's a little hint or clue by the producers that way. But they said it's going to be an iconic character, so, presumably it's going to be a big one. It could be Ian, it could be Phil, it could be absolutely anyone. It could even be Tracy.
My money's on Danny Dyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's Danny Dyer is the one that I'm not expecting it to be, because I think
That's why I think it's him.
Fair enough. That's a good pun. Are you going to put money on the bookies for it?
I don't bet.
So, Alex, you don't sound to me that you're old enough to have been watching it from the get-go, but who has been your all-time favourite character?
I mean, it has to be Queen Sharon. She is just, she's amazing. She's been in it from the conception of the show, and she's had all the ups and downs. You followed the path with her. She's quite a pinnacle in the story at the moment as well, because obviously she got pregnant with Keanu while still married to Phil, and she's just iconic. So it has to be Sharon all the way.
Well, listen, you enjoy that episode this evening.
Can we do some role play then? What you going to do then now? You remember when Dirty Den came back from the dead? So you could be Sharon and you're in the Queen Vic and you say something like, "Who's that there?" Because there's an intruder in there. So you be Sharon and then I'll be Den. Okay, so you're in the Vic, it's night time, you're Sharon, off you go.
So it was actually in the nightclub. It was in.
Okay, well you be Sharon in the nightclub.
You're speaking to an expert,
Dan. Who's that in the shadows? Who is that?
Hello, princess. Fantastic stuff. Enjoy it tonight. That's EastEnders fan Alex Osborn from the Wolford Weekly podcast, and it continues tonight on BBC One.
Start with the word Essex. My next guest is Alex Osborn. Alex is co-founder and co-presenter of an EastEnders podcast called Wolford Weekly. Hiya, Alex.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
Oh, thanks for coming on. I mean, you must be a big fan of EastEnders to do a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my partner and I decided to start the podcast in the first place because we just loved the soap so much, and we'd watch it and we'd have lots to talk about, and we thought, well, maybe other people have lots to talk about too. And so we kind of put ourselves out there, and there certainly is a lot of people who enjoy it as much as we do.
And what is it about it that you love? Is it the drama or the characters?
I think the characters draw you in, because EastEnders is very much based on the characters. It's character driven, so you get invested on the families and the stories surrounding them. But the stories also can be really intriguing. They can be relevant as well from time to time, and sometimes the over-the-top storylines and the very dramatic stories can be really gripping and exciting to watch too.
But, I mean, do you ever find yourself getting irrationally angry when you get this invested in something? Like, I love that Mick and Linda were going to be this happy couple, the one happy couple on the whole square, and they've ruined them. I mean, do you get over-invested, do you think, sometimes?
Oh, no, absolutely. I think you do. I mean, there was a story about 2 or 3 years ago where Bex, who's Sonia and Martin's daughter, was getting bullied, and the two bullies who were, carrying out the torment toward her was, really winding me up quite a lot, to the point that I was almost shouting at the television screen.
What are your favourite bits? Is it when they go hell for leather with something really dramatic, or do you like the slightly funnier bits?
I mean, I really enjoy when they do two-handers or three-handers, when they have stories where it's the whole episode is just set in one location and it's two characters kind of talking to one another, and it really develops a story very quickly, and you almost feel intimate, and you're watching the drama unfold as if you're actually sitting in Dot's kitchen or sitting in the Vic watching these stories unfold in front of you. But I really like. I mean, it's as you said earlier, It's come a long way from its humble beginnings of when it was like a reality-shrouded, kitchen sink drama. It's now much more of impactful and over-the-top storylines. But in a way, I kind of like that. It kind of brings you out of this, the world sometimes can be a bit of a dark place, and sometimes seeing these stories can, bring you out a bit of joy of half an hour of an evening.
And obviously, it's 35 years is a great achievement for any TV programme. Can you see it going for another 35 years?
I certainly hope so. It would be great if it could. I mean, the BBC in general are kind of keeping up with the Netflix generation, if you want to call it, where young people tend to watch things on catch-up. EastEnders being an example is that, it normally tops the top 5 of most downloaded or requested shows on the iPlayer. So maybe people may not watch it when it's broadcast live as often anymore, but they're certainly watching it when it's on the iPlayer. And it's almost a throwback to the old days when the omnibus was on a Sunday. If you couldn't catch it in the week, you watch it on a Sunday afternoon instead.
I miss those days. Sometimes that's a way to spend a Sunday afternoon, isn't it? Watching an omnibus. Thank you so much, Alex Osborn, co-founder and co-presenter of the EastEnders podcast, Wolford Weekly. Lee Caswell is on the line now as well.